Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome back to Study Journey. Welcome back to the Python series. This is episode 5 of the word game. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, it is all in this playlist. And in this episode, we're going to be defining is valid word. So without further ado, let's get into the video. In the previous episode, we have finished updating the hand, so now we are moving on to problem 3 of the word game, which is valid words. So these are the instructions right here, and we can read it. So it says, at this point, we have not written any code to verify that a word given by a player obeys the rules of the game. So it tells you that a valid word is in the word list, and it is composed entirely of letters from the current hand. So it is telling us to implement the isValidWord function according to its specifications, and then test it with the test code. So if we go to our Finder and our folder of PS3 and open ps3.py, all the specifications are on here. So I'm going to scroll down. Here is update hand, which we just did over here, and the next one is valid word. So I'm going to copy this over to our code. And make sure the indentions are all tabs because those are what I used in the previous code. So now we can exit out of this, and looking at our instructions, it says that this function will return true if word is in the word list and is entirely composed of letters in the hand. Otherwise, it returns false, and it does not mutate hand or word list. And it tells you that the word is a string, the hand is a dictionary, and the word list is a list of lowercase strings, and it returns a boolean, so a true or false value. So the parameters of this function is word, hand, and word list because those are what we are taking in to actually test out the code. Our word list generates all of the words in lowercase letters, so to compare whether or not our word is actually in the word list, we must first ensure that our word is written in all lowercase. So we can do this by setting word equal to word.lower. And now that we have this, we must make a copy of our hand before we alter it, just like we before. So this is done by setting new hand to hand.copy, so basically making a copy of the hand. So now we can compare our word to the words in the word list. If the word is in the word list, then we determine whether the word is in the hand. And this is done by comparing every letter of the word to the letters in the hand. And it will be easier if we write a separate code for this. So we're going to determine whether or not the word is in the hand with a helper function. So if the word is not in the word list, then we will return false. So the first thing we determine is whether or not the word is in the word list. So if word in word list, or this is basically saying if our word is in the word list, then we will return whether or not it is in the hand. So in hand, this is going to be our function, and we can determine its parameters. And then otherwise, we're going to return false. Okay, so now looking at is word in hand. Basically, this is going to be a helper function that we're going to write, so I'm going to write it above. Is word in hand, so I'm going to define is word in hand, and then the parameters are what we're going to take in. So in this code, we're going to be determining whether or not the letters in our word are in our hand. So we're going to be comparing our word with the new hand. And this is also going to be a Boolean value, and it's supposed to return true or false right here. So basically, this code is going to say, if the word is in the word list, then we're going to determine whether or not the word is in the hand. And since this should return a true or false value, this code right here will either return a true or false. And so in the next episode, we're going to be writing this helper function, is word in hand.